Boom.
Hey.
Hey,
All right. So what happened, dude? Tell me.
what happened? What do you mean?
Yeah. What'd you see?
Well, I was in T1 in '66, and then she had this ping pong, and there was this donkey, and
Did you
just
really just go there? You're not right. You were still in your daddy's nutsack back in '66, dude.
definitely. So there's been an interesting thing going around. So I live near Oak Ridge, Tennessee, right? And all the little county pages around here. It's rural places for the most part, until you get like towards Knoxville. People in the small towns surrounding it have been seeing for a while now drones during the day and night, but they're not like the drones you fly with your Maverick or anything. They're big. They're
Like
really
how
big,
big?
like a car.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and no one knows what they are. People see them during the day. People see them at night. There is an airport nearby, uh, which is, you know, probably an old CIA cocaine airport, if I'm being honest. I would bet
Are they
money.
flying high or are they coming down low?
Both.
Okay.
And the weird thing is, their lights turn on and off randomly. So my wife and I were sitting on the porch the other night, and I sent you a clip and in a picture what I was able to zoom in on, and then we're just looking into the darkness, and all of a sudden, boom! This light comes on, and it is so bright. Like I was like, "Do you see that?" And she's like, "Yeah." I was just making sure, my low grade hallucinations aren't taking over.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
and she's like, "Yeah," and I was like, "That's crazy." He's like, "That's not a plane. If that's a plane, that's low." And so I start filming it, and I'm just baffled by it. And then as I'm trying to zoom in on it, I think I see some lights on the outside, and then all of a sudden they come on the outside. It's very weird. And I was
What
like,
time of day
okay,
was this? Was this at
oh, this
night
is
or
night at night,
okay? So it's
and
dark out?
probably
Com
8:30 or 9. Yeah, very
Okay.
dark.
Definitely dark.
Um, and it's coming over the mountain, and so it's in our valley, right? Probably mountain height in the valley, and it was so bright. Like when I zoomed in, that the light was so intensely bright. It was like a burst. Like you can see it in that video I sent you. It's just like that's crazy, right? Like it had like the front of it is just
Yeah.
a spotlight, but it's not anywhere else. It's just glowing up there. And then as I'm talking to her, and you can hear it in the video, I'm like, this is nuts. This isn't a plane. Why would a plane have fucking headlights on in the sky?
Yeah.
They can't see where they're going. This doesn't. It's not a road. It's not like they're changing traffic. And then I'm able to like make out the red and green. I was like, oh, those look like navigation lights. And I should have kept filming, and I didn't. That's on me. But I stopped filming, and then I tried to zoom in and take a picture, and I could see it, but I couldn't really see the outline of the plane. And from back in the days when I was into UFOs and whatnot, as people would watch UFOs, they would see other lights come on, and it starts looking like a plane. Here's the thing: we never heard anything.
Oh, there's no noise.
No noise.
Okay.
So if this was like some little Cessna with front lights or whatever, like you should be able to. And we see planes go over all the time, training flights coming out of the airport. You hear them go through the valley, especially when they're low. There
Mhm.
was nothing on this. Nothing. It was silent.
How
And there
far
were
away do
other
you think it
lights.
was?
I mean, it's night, so any judgment I give you is just gonna be bullshit, right? It's beyond
Gotcha.
my ability to perceive it. It's high.
But definitely
Uh,
within distance, you should have heard something.
oh yes, yes. I mean, it's if it was higher than the tall mountain that edges our valley, then it's just a little bit taller.
Yeah.
So you should have heard something run through. Excuse me. I don't know why I have the hiccups now. Have something run through the whole valley. I mean, helicopters. You hear that thump, 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 thump when they're way up there. Because again, we have an airport on the other side of the mountain, and so you hear that kind of stuff all the time. Like we're accustomed to that. And I was like, man, this is weird. I was like, man, I immediately went southern on it. Sorry, it slips from time to time,
You did.
especially when I get excited. But so here's some Facebook posts from like a local group. And it said, outside looking up at the skies, has anybody noticed all the drones? We tried taking pictures, but they're so high up in the light and color that the camera won't pick them up. We counted 17 today. Has anyone else seen them? They're probably bigger than most vans.
Dang.
So that's the thing. And you think, well, that's a crazy person. No one's going to give into that.
Were there a bunch of comments to that post? What
Yes.
was the
Yes. People are like,
reaction?
people are asking, where did you see them? That's like the number one. Hey, where did you see this? Where is this? And people are telling which cities it is. And I'm not going to do that. But I said, this post makes me think of the movie Signs. Someone said, it's the moon and Jupiter close and sunset. It's not. There's always that person. I think it's important to read that, you fucking amateur astronomers. I can't talk. Seen one today in Oak Ridge on the road, and then someone else put all the time. And he's right. They have been up there all the time. In fact, I bet if I sit on my porch today and watch them, you'll see them. They're these weird silver cylinders that are kind of just floating around. It's very strange. Yeah, I seen two today. I didn't know what they were. And someone showed a video last Saturday in the small town next to a building, and you can see, I mean, it kind of looks like a plane. I mean, they're not doing really good justice by zooming in, but also you should also be able to hear it because of the way. And then someone said that looks just like the ones we seen roughly 17, and they saw them during the day. Those 17. I see those all the time. They seem to follow the same pattern after the small planes. Looked like there was some stuff coming out of the last one I saw when it ended up being hard to breathe again at night. Could just be crazy.
Oh, what's up with that?
I don't know. But I see these all the time, and they're hard to get on camera, though. And I'll vouch for that. As I can't tell whether they're white or silver. They appear to be shiny at times. And then someone put up a post of just a regular plane. And then someone said, oh, honey, we see them all the time. Blinking ones, bright lit ones. Ones that will fade their lights off slowly when they seem to notice you're looking. Ones that look like airplanes but produce no sound. Two, that despite being quite a distance apart, seem to move synchronously. And they're using them. And they seem to be synchronized. That's what she should say. There is a triangle shape moving synchronized and descending below the tree line.
And these are all just locals that have seen the
Yeah,
same.
these are all I know a bunch of these people. Ones that look like solar oven kites rotating through the sky untethered. Ones that will switch the direction of their light from one side to another. We see most at night, but the other day, right in downtown, my husband caught one on video. We feel like we're going crazy over here seeing things. Makes you feel a little woo-woo if you catch my drift. Want to have a lot of fun? Go watch old X-Files reruns.
Yeah, that would be a good one. The lady said her husband got right downtown in the daytime. That would be a great video to get your hands on.
They're not going to give it up. Most of these people that are doing are spouses, or people will post stuff like this and then remove it, because where we live next to Oak Ridge, a lot of these people either have Q clearances, or they're related to people with Q clearances, or like an L clearance, or maybe they got the coveted crypto clearance, like different top level security clearances, because they work in and around the government labs and government projects or for the government. That's why things in towns and places like this never get out. If you don't have one, you're related to someone who does, and that person's going to come to you. Hey man, this could cost me my life. Like, stop this. This is going to cost me my job, my kid. I need this. And they're like, sorry, yeah, I'll take it down. That's how things always work here. In Oak Ridge Labs, when you were enriching uranium and plutonium and doing all that stuff, something that happened in the 50s no one talks about is they were experimenting on pregnant women who worked there, exposing them to massive doses of radiation to see what would happen to the fetuses.
Oh, I remember hearing about all that.
Yeah.
It was catastrophic too.
Oh, they were creating mutations and abominations, giving people cancer, kids born with organs outside of their bodies. Like it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, who knows? Even now they have funds set up that if you work out there and you get cancer, it's like $400,000 without any questions, lifetime care.
Wow.
And it's not if, it's when. Not, I mean,
do we know what they're working on up there? What are they working at?
Scary stuff.
And for most people that are not aware, the Oak Ridge Labs are sort of what Stranger Things.
It is what Stranger Things
based on.
Yeah. So Stranger Things was originally called the Montauk Project, based off of Montauk, New York, and all that jazz. And they made them change the name. That was just the name. The actual like geographic layout of Stranger Things is based on Oak Ridge.
Yeah.
like
Which
the
is kind
rivers,
of
the mountains, the valleys, the labs, the private labs, the security, the mall, all that, like where the neighborhoods are. They just use that as the reference points for everything. But let's keep going. So it's ones I feel like I can ride and get away with. It's just saw 3 of them coming up home in Lenore City. So that's a city a little further away, going downtown Creek. And people are like, so many. And they're like, yeah, I see them all the time. I've seen many of them. They've been going on for like a month. They say they're everywhere. Some belong to TVA, some belong to the labs, but the others don't. And that will be one that gets pulled. So what are the labs studying, or what are they doing out there? So this is a good crazy thing that I'll probably reference many times as far as conspiracy theories goes when it comes to science, is the Department of Energy. The DOE. The Department of Energy is something no one talks about and everybody should talk about. I mean, they should, but they won't, because if you do, that's where the Men in Black come from.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so the Department of Energy has their own federal armed wing. Call them couriers, escort agents. They are mostly former special forces guys. They're gunfighters, and they're really good gunfighters. Now, officially, they transport nuclear materials from point A to point B anywhere in the world, right? Anywhere in the world. That's the craziest part of that, is these guys don't just go like move stuff around the U.S. They go everywhere. They go around the whole world. And the thing is, all the countries allow them. Nobody fights with these guys. And anyone who tries to stop them, you will get smoked. They may or may not have had encounters that you can kind of find some traces of from old newspapers and online searches. That's up for you to go look at, because all that stuff gets scrubbed too. They'll classify everything, and also the stuff they're transporting is so awful, right? It's
Yeah.
so bad. You want top tier gunfighters. Yeah, let's not fuck around with this at all. But at the same time, physical sciences, like in the U.S. especially, but even around the world, is substantially funded by the Department of Energy, U.S. dollars. Top tier scientists, all those guys, very few of them go and work for private companies. Most of them will come and work for DOE. My buddy that works at NASA, he was recruited. I mean, he went and worked for DARPA for a while. I think Department of Energy stole him from there to come work on some side projects, and then he got spun out into some other stuff. Need to get him on here. That'd be fun. But maybe
Yeah.
much later. But it's the Department of Energy has its own armed wing. They have their own armed training facilities. They operate government compounds with security that's third party, well trained, well equipped, huge perimeters, in ground sensors, secure airspace. And they're not just doing nuclear stuff out there. They have everything. The next generation of AI and quantum computing is already alive and well, and it's working out at the labs. And the word is on the street, everyone working on those are not happy people.
Yeah, it just seems terrifying.
Well, Tucker Carlson did a really good interview, and I think this is the easiest way I can skirt around a lot of stuff. Tucker Carlson did an interview with a gentleman who's well in with all the billionaires and private funding that's going into AI, right? Not the AI like ChatGPT or Grok. I mean AI, like all that other shit. That's just really advanced Google algorithms, that search engines. That's really all they are. Language models and stuff. I mean, real AI. So the general consensus, as I understand it, and I could definitely be wrong because I'm not that smart a person, is that they're talking to something that is not what they programmed. And they've accepted that they're talking to something from somewhere else. And nobody feels comfortable about it, but nobody can stop themselves. So whether it's private funding or government funding, they've all kind of come to this, which in certain levels is really the same thing. They all kind of come to the same, we don't know what we're talking to, but it's a lot smarter than we are.
That's so scary.
Well, the other thing is like the general consensus, I believe, given how many people have made righteous religious turns after being that they think they're talking to demons. And they don't like it. People aren't happy about it. But they're not turning off the program. And the billionaires, like, who are funding things privately, people, this guy asked me, like, why don't you just stop? And it's like, I can't even explain it. I can't stop writing checks. And the government people's like, why don't you shut this down? It's like, we can't. It's like, why? It's like, we don't know. No one will stop. And the thing is about Oak Ridge especially, they had an advertisement that went out not long ago. That was some shit straight out of Stephen King's The Mist. It's not. I mean,
I really love that movie, by the way.
So
it's one of my faves.
They had a scientist who my friend knows. She was on there, and she's like, "Yeah, so we're using technology to break into we're creating portals to break into other dimensions and realms, and that's what we're doing."
Why?
And
why?
that's exactly what all the comments are like. You're doing fucking what? It's like, I live here, man. Stop. Do that in the desert. Go do that in the desert. Or preferably not at all, if I'm being honest. Yeah, do you remember Howard the Duck?
Yes.
Yeah, it didn't work out so well for that scientist, did it?
Oh, God. God, it's been a long time since I've seen that
Howard the Duck.
We had that recorded on VHS when we were kids, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we had that one.
VHS. Yeah. No, I watched it many times. That the what's her name in it? Yeah. I remember her.
Jennifer Grey. Wait.
It wasn't Jennifer Grey.
Leah Thompson. Same one from Back to the Future. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then the old guy, the guy in that, was it the scientist, was also the principal from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yes, he was in a bunch of 80s movies. He was great. He was great.
Same character and everything, though.
One of the crazy ones is what's that guy's name from Shawshank Redemption? He used to be married to that redheaded actress chick. Tall guy.
Oh my God, we actually just watched that on the plane a couple weeks ago. Yeah,
he's in Howard the Duck.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's the nerdy guy hanging out with Howard. They build that ultralight and go flying together.
I don't remember him in that.
Yeah, I got to pull up his name now. But
Susan Sarandon was the wife.
Yeah, he was married to Susan Sarandon.
Mm-hmm. They had a long marriage, didn't they?
Yeah.
Are they still together?
No.
Tim Robbins.
Yes. Tim Robbins was in it. I think it's one of his earlier movies.
He's very talented.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
Probably super weirdo. I think most actors are super weirdos.
We're all weirdos.
Not like them.
Because they have more money.
No, they're weapons grade liars. You can't be normal if you're a weapons grade liar. The better the actor, the crazier they are, right? The better at being someone else other than you. Yeah. But anyway, so it didn't work out so well for the old professor who opened the doorway, who brought in Howard the Duck and a demon from that X dimension that then possessed the guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then had the crazy long tongue come out and hook into the cigarette lighter.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about all that. That's so funny.
Yeah. And she was in that like punk rock band, Howard the Duck.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Golly.
Howard the Duck was also referenced in the Marvel movies, and he was in because he's a Marvel character. He was in Guardians
Howard
of the
Duck
Galaxy.
Is a Marvel character?
Yeah, he's in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Get out of here.
Yeah, he's in Guardians of the Galaxy.
No freaking way.
Yeah. When they go and sell the thing and he's got all the things frozen, Howard the Duck's one of them.
Okay, another favorite character from an alien movie is Paul. Was Paul the Guardian of the Galaxy too?
Yeah.
I really liked Paul.
Yeah, I think that's just the creators of that. He kind of encased a bit of their nihilism. Paul was interesting. No. Yeah, but Howard the Duck's a Marvel character. Anyway, so people around here are seeing things in the sky. The labs near us are secret government labs patrolled with guys with fully automatic weapons and up-armored vehicles that have the rights to shoot people on sight. And not only that, they may or may not have gotten security routes changed once or twice because the dudes who are in up-armored vehicles with automatic weapons, heavy weapons, by the way, are afraid to go through certain paths in the woods at night because of shit they've seen. And they won't talk about it because they don't want to get declared crazy and have their fucking clearance pulled. Now they lose their 6-figure security job.
Right.
So they just got together and be like, we're going to take a different route. And there's a gentleman named Tony Merkel who does the Confessionals podcast. It's a very large podcast. Has been talking about, because he lives in and around that area as well. Like actually he lives around Maryville, but he knows people that in and around the labs. And some of the guys have confided in him that they've had training programs that when portals open and things walk out, who to call, how to deal with it.
Ghostbusters?
No.
Sorry.
No, they call him. No, I wish.
You know who to call.
I wish. No.
But I mean, honestly, that fits though. Like, who do you call when something walks through a portal that you've just opened
guy with a
into another
50 cal.
dimension?
A guy with a 50 cal.
Well, how do you know a 50 cal is going to take care of whatever walks through that
That's what
portal?
you got on hand, fucker. Like, if it doesn't, we're all in trouble.
I've just seen way too many scary movies. Like, I just feel like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I think it's never ending. What could come out of that?
No, it never goes good. None of that shit ever goes good. Like, it's not happy times. You know? There's none of them. The Mist is terrible.
Oh, that was such a good movie. Was that based off of anything that's happened?
Stephen King's books.
No, I know, but from where did he get that from?
There's a good question.
Is that another lab gone wrong? There's another historical moment that he got that from?
No, he just pulls that stuff out of his imagination mind, and or if you listen to him, his dreams.
Out of his terrifying mind. I want to know what happened to Stephen King as a child.
Probably nothing. So like there goes like into a deeper conversation that maybe we should do a whole podcast over is like dreams, right? Mm-hmm. Dreams and dreams reality. Like, is it a real place?
I've wondered. I've woke up sometimes confused about who I am, and I've woke up I woke up one time confused. Yeah, I almost don't even want to say. It's just almost disrespectful to my life here, but I was confused on who I was and who I was with, and like I woke up crying, like I was almost mourning a life I didn't even have. It was crazy.
I've had something like that happen. I told my wife, I can talk about it. And I felt weird. I felt guilty when I told her too.
It's kind of what I mean right now. I haven't done anything wrong.
No. So this is mine. So I had this dream. This is a while ago, but I still remember it vividly. I was descending on this small valley, right? Like I was floating down. It was very weird. I was wrapped in this weird robe, and I had some kind of like sashes, but I had more than one that was tied around like my waist. They were different colors. And as I'm going, and I can like see, it's like something out of a fairy tale, like just stone cottage homes. You know, they're pretty big, but they're, you know, maybe one or two have 2 stories. Most are all single stories, just sprawling out. Everyone has a garden. It's like cobblestone streets, and I'm just kind of landing not in the road, but off to the side of the road. And when my feet, and I'm barefooted, hit the ground, it sinks in because the earth's really soft. And I'm just like, and someone in town had saw me come down. And they like made a call out in some language I didn't know. And they all come out, and they're all like laughing and pointing at me as I'm coming down. And but it's not in like a, ha, look at this. It's like, hey, you know, and I'm like, I'm discombobulated. And so I kind of move forward on the path, and I can feel the stones under my feet. You know what I mean? And I feel like something I've walked 1,000 times. And I move forward, and everyone else, they have sandals on their feet. And I'm like, look, they're wearing the same kind of robe I am. Most of the people have like 1 color sash or 2 color sashes, something like that. And it's men and women, and everybody is yoked. I mean, like they woke up at like 4 years old and decided, I'm dedicating my entire life to steroids and CrossFit.
Oh, Lord.
Like, everybody's jacked and just like healthy, tall, you know, just beautiful. Mm-hmm. And they're all laughing and like kind of coming up to me, and they're moving slow. Like they know more about me than I know about them. And I don't understand anything that they're saying. And I go to tell them, like, I don't understand what you're saying. And I'm speaking the same gobbledygook, and they just start laughing again. And one guy just puts his hands up like this. He's in front, and he's an older-ish guy. He's got a little gray around his muzzle in the front of his hair. And he's got longer hair, and he's like, just hold on. And this chick comes over who's, you know, shorter, I would say about mid to my arm of wherever I am there. I don't know how tall I am there. And anyway, when I'm kind of freaking out, and I have my hands out, and one of the things I look down, I notice like my hands are really lean. My forearms are jacked. Like I'm jacked. You know what I mean? Again,
Definitely a dream.
yeah, definitely a dream. But like, but like, I'm already a big guy, but I'm like
Yeah,
a big guy,
yeah.
and I'm just like, whoa! Like I'm starting to kind of panic, and that's when he's like, just kind of like me miming to me, right, to like just be calm. And this chick comes out of the crowd, and she comes over and wraps her arms around me from the side, like she moves my arm out of the way, like underneath, and like
Mhm.
hugs me real tight. And I like put my arm down, and I'm like, I know this person. And then she looks up and says to me, "You got to go back." And she just kind of like popped my face a little, and I was awake, and I was like, "What the fuck was this?" You know
Oh,
what I
that's
mean? And I
insane.
was just like, "What is going on? What is going on?" I told my wife I had a super real dream. I need to talk to you about it. And then I was trying to let it go, and I couldn't let it go. And then I didn't tell her about the chick until the end, and she's like, "Who is she?" I was like,
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. You
What
know,
does
I
she look
don't
like?
know. Yeah, yeah. What's your social security number? Where she live?
Hmm.
And I'm just like, no, no. And she wasn't like that. She was like, well, that's weird. It's like, you ever seen her? I was like, I have no idea what just happened. And the
You
kicker,
know
I had a
you
follow
know
up
what
dream.
this what it reminds me of is that story who of the lady who got off the plane and was going through customs with her passport and had a passport stamped from another
Somewhere
country
else.
that doesn't exist.
Yeah,
Like Tarragata or I don't know,
something. Yeah,
something like that, and
there. Yeah.
they wound up putting her in a room, to go figure it out and came back and she was gone.
Oh, that was a man. It was in Japan. Yeah.
I thought it was a woman. The story I've heard
Mm.
multiple times is a woman.
So the story is no one's been able to validate it, like where it's from, but it is one that just kind of keeps going.
Mm.
There's some other cases of things that were strange,
I
but
thought there were 2 because I thought there was another one of a man from a different time, a different
mm.
place that he showed up.
Yeah, to my knowledge, they'd never been able to validate those. Like, and I mean, it was just a dream. I mean, I woke up, but so I had a second dream. It was a couple months later, and like this dream messed me up. That messed me up, and I've had some crazy fucking dreams. But I didn't understand what I was seeing. I didn't understand what was going on, and so like the next dream, I wake up. It's a weird way to say it, right? I wake up in the dream, and I'm standing outside this. I could draw it for you. A 3-story bungalow-esque cabin, and behind me is very like kind of dense jungle. But then as I look up, and I realize I'm in the same valley that I'd seen before, and I just knew that somehow that there's a river on the other side of this like bungalow thing, and then halfway up it turns into like pine forest, and I can see snow at the very top of the mountains. So like in this one thing, it goes from snow to pine to like broadleaf, like the city's kind of what we have, not a lot of that, and then right to almost like jungle, right at the river because the water is warm.
Yeah.
Like as you get near the
Okay.
water is warm. And there's a big, like I even coming down, I was able to see the valley. There's a big lake over there, and there's rivers that feed into it. But this is by one of these rivers. And I'm sitting there, and these 2 dudes are waiting on me, like waiting on me. And I can understand them. And they're like, "Hey man, it's good to see you." And they say something that I don't recognize, but I think it's my name, and I don't know what it is because I couldn't try and say it if I wanted to. And I'm just like, "What's going on?" And they're like, "It's okay. You're gonna be okay." And he says, "You shouldn't be here, but let's just make the best of it." And we say, "Come on, man." And we walk in, and immediately I realized that this little place I'm at, this is like my hunting cabin. Like this is mine. This is my place. And it's really weird because there's like fishing poles, and there's a fucking bow made out of like a ram's horns on the walls and shit. And the thing is, and you know me, I don't like fishing. Not
Oh,
really a
yeah,
hunter. Like I lost the flavor for it. And I'm definitely never been a bow hunter. I've never been into that.
yeah.
But these are like, this is a big deal here. And there's some other stuff that I don't recognize. One of the other things is the way this thing is laid out with its sides. It's got like 8 little flat sides around it. And like in between each 2-ish, I think it's each 2-ish. There's these weird metal things that you like open up and turn out, and they like heat the whole place somehow. Like there's something like whatever's in this box is just, but it's not fire. I don't know what it is. But like as you pull it up, like it's black on the outside. But when you pull it up, it's like a goldish bronze on the inside. And it just, the whole place lightens up. There's light, it's warmth. And the guy
But
grabs a couple poles, and he's like, come on. And we go down, and the other dude's down there. And then he's like waving and laughing. Cause again, it's like I can tell it's at my expense, but in a fawn kind of way. And we start setting poles as we're going through the water, and the water is warm over my feet. And there's these weird little rocks. And I realized, like, it reminded me of like the rocks in Peru, if you've seen, where they like, it looks like someone squished the rock and fit it into another one,
Oh, yeah.
where they
Yeah,
build
yeah,
the
yeah.
temple walls and stuff. So
Yeah.
this is the same thing. Like, these were like hand molded and put down, and like the holes were like dug out. I can see the fingerprints, and I'm just kind of staring at it. And the guy's like putting the pole in as we go down. And I remember looking, I was like, did I do this? And he's like, yeah. It's like, it's just kind of laughing. He goes back putting the poles in, and we toss the lines in the water. And I'm just kind of sitting there, and there's like a bench, like a little ways out into the water. Same thing, like it's molded. And I'm just kind of sitting there with them, and the guys are on their own, and one gets up to go check all the lines to see if we're catching anything. And I'm like looking around, and he looks over him, and he goes, she's not here. And he's like, I'm like, what? He's like, she didn't want to come. She didn't want to cause you any problems. And I'm like, what? He's like, just relax. That's what I was like.
Who's she?
The chick who hugged me in the last dream. That's who I was looking for. I was like, if all this is here, where's that chick? If this is my place, I know this woman. And he's like, she doesn't want to cause you any problems. Like, that's not.
So weird.
Yeah. And I'm just like there. And right as my buddy like catches a fish and starts reeling, it's a fish I've never seen before. I wake up and I'm back in my bed, and I'm just like, am I going schizophrenic? Like, is this the sign?
Well, I mean, there's always that chance.
It's never zero. It's never zero.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. Especially to have that just a few weeks after the first one.
Oh, it's a couple months. It's a couple
Oh,
months.
I thought
So
you
maybe
said weeks. My bad.
8 or 9 weeks. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was a trip, and I've never had it again. Never had it again. Never approached it. I've thought a lot about it. I didn't understand it. I still don't understand it. I also accept that having had other really weird dreams, the entire thing could be a fake. It could be a setup, because I believe dreams have power. I believe the dream world has power. And at that particular time in my life, I was pretty stressed out. I didn't realize it at the time. I was in the midst of me not admitting how broken down I was. You know what I mean? I still had I had about 6 or 7 more months until I really accepted it.
So you really cracked.
Until I really cracked. So it was in that. But I've had other really weird dreams, and that's it. Like, and I genuinely believe this. Like, I look at that dream, it doesn't line up with anything that I understand. The way it was eliciting emotions is almost too perfect. I was like, is this trying to make me feel vulnerable and let down my guard? And that's honestly what I've kind of come back to. I feel like it was trying to set me up to make me think something. You know what I mean? It's wanting me to feel this way. It's wanting me to be accepting. It's wanting, like, yeah, come look at this. Come at this. This is what's really here. Like, open up, relax. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, focus. And yeah, that's kind of the conclusion I've come to. Well, it was wild. I don't know. I think there's a lot of stuff that goes on in this. I think, you know, most of it's, I'm a very woo-woo person. Way into the spiritual side of stuff. I believe that's heavily predominant in our lives, whether we accept it or not. It doesn't take us to believe it to be there. And I think there's always things looking for vulnerability. I've had other dreams that were far more intense. That this the only one that left me kind of questioning, like, and it hit me at the perfect time of vulnerability that I can only see that in hindsight. Like, that was perfect. Perfect. You know. And then after the second one, I was just like, this doesn't make sense. And it doesn't make sense because the things that were in there and on the walls and other things, I feel like it was purposely trying to play with me a little. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I absolutely believe. I mean, we all have our own experiences and dreams, and how they affect us and where they come from and what they're trying to do to us or how they make us feel. You know, I told you not too long ago that I mean, that I guess the proof is in the pudding, as far as you know, people can believe what they want to, but I know that dream that I had about my best friend's father, when I had not talked to her for oh man, we had fallen off for almost a decade, I guess. I hadn't seen or heard from her. I had no way to contact her. Had tried several times, and then all of a sudden I had a dream. Her father was in my dream,
Mhm,
and her father was. We were walking along. He had his arm around me, and her father was always. When our dad left,
mhm,
and that's when I uh, created this friendship with Robin, and her dad knew what I was going through as a young girl, and he went above and beyond. Um, to try to make me feel better. He gave me lots of hugs. He gave me lots of support, lots of love. He was a really good guy. And so when I have this dream and he's walking me along and he's got his arm around me and he was like, I need you to find Robin. Like she's not okay. I need you to find Robin. And I'm like, well, what about Beth and Shelby? And he's like, they're fine, which that's her mom and sister.
mhm.
Like, he's like, they're fine, but I need you to find Robin. And then I wake up and a little bit of time goes by and I just keep thinking about that dream and I decide I'm going to find her on social media. And when I found her, it turns out that that same time period that I had that dream, her dad passed. And to me, that's that's all the
Absolutely,
proof I need. That's all the proof that I need. I know what I felt was real. I know my experience was real, whether
100%.
anybody else believes it. And it brought me back to Robin. We found each other. And now, I mean, uh, she's my bestie. Like I'm gonna grow
Yeah,
old with this woman. Like I love her, and she's
mhm.
been a huge part of my life. And it's so funny because I feel grateful to her dad for bringing us back together. And he was not here, but
Yeah, no, dude, I listen, I live my this is how I live my life. This is true craziness. I know that I'm on the right path and where I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing when I start having deja vu. That I
okay. What do you
things I've
say?
seen in dreams, like I've been here. Like this is I know when I have that, it's like I'm in the right place, the right time. Like this is the path. Like I'm on the correct path. These paths keep finding me, And I've only recently started having that again. I haven't had that in like a year, since I fucking started break. Like when I should have left the other show I was on, when I should have done all these other things and I
Yeah.
didn't. I just stopped having it and I was crumbling. And I've only recently started having them again. And I was like, "Whew, it's been a while, but all right.
Well, that's great, especially
Yeah.
if that's how, if that's what that means to you and that's how that makes
Oh
you
yeah.
feel and that's your awareness of it, then that's awesome
Yeah.
that you're back where you need to be.
That's how it's the, future event in that moment. Like oh wait, I've been here, you know? So that's
We
how
have
I
to
rock.
listen to that stuff. I mean,
100 people who don't go crazy.
yeah.
People who don't go crazy. Um, it's like I definitely don't have any answers. All my answers I try to get from Christ because I don't. The harder I try to hold on to anything, the more things slip through my fingers. And only when I let go of things does everything kind of align. You know, which is
Mm.
a hell of a thing to do, especially given my propensity to want to hold on to everything as tightly as I can.
Hey, you gave me that cross necklace for my birthday, and I wore it
Yeah,
all weekend. I put it
yeah.
on Friday, and I wore it all the way through until we came home, and it
Mhm.
was different. It was a different experience. I'm not used to people looking at me and seeing a cross on me and assuming I'm a Christian, It was
Well,
it was it was different. I don't know. It was
it's
it was
it's a
beautiful,
it's
honestly, it was
it's gold, baby. It's gold.
it is a beautiful necklace, but
Yeah. I should have ordered it instead of going and getting it.
what do you mean? Where'd
The
you go
price
get
of
it
gold,
at?
so the price of the crosses went up when I went to go get them.
Oh gosh, that's funny.
Damn it.
Well, that's what you get for procrastinating, damn it.
I know, fair enough. Fair
Yeah,
enough. That is what I get for procrastinating.
that's so funny.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think that we should maybe, I'm curious about these objects you saw in the sky. I think I'm gonna come down and visit next week. Maybe we can
Yeah,
go go jump in the golf cart and go right up on the top of the mountain for a minute or something, see if we see
we
anything.
can. Yeah, we definitely can.
Get mom
Apparently
to come
they're
over and watch the kids.
we definitely can. It's the top of the cemetery over there has got a really good view of the town.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I've been out there with my buddies and, we see things and we're all just kinda looking at each other like, "Eh, it's time to go home."
Yeah,
Like, nobody
yeah,
wants to talk about it.
yeah, it's fun until it's not.
One night we were hanging out 'cause I get together with my buddies just about every Friday, and we hang out, just dudes. Um, and we were on one of my buddies who owns a building downtown. He has, like, roof access to the top, and we're out there, and we're just kinda hanging out while swearing the stars, laughing, telling jokes, lies, all that kinda stuff. And a giant black triangle blots out the stars, and everyone's like, "Everyone else see that?" We're like,
Oh, Lord.
"What the hell is that?" And then it just kinda just kept moving through the sky, and it was silent, and
Mhm,
the only real way you could see it was you couldn't see anything behind it anymore,
mhm,
and there was, like, clouds at a certain altitude, so we know it wasn't crazy high up there, but it was silent, and it was just like,
mhm.
"Let's all go inside now." We're like, "Okay."
That's funny.
Yeah.
Y'all were probably tripping on shit too, though, who knows?
Who knows? Yeah, company. But, yeah, there's weird shit. I mean, it's right by the labs, and there's plenty of weird reports. There's plenty of weird
Mhm,
reports. There's a lot of weird reports. There's reports that people don't also make because they have security clearances.
mhm.
Like, you don't do those things when you're a security guard out there and you've worked really hard to get there, you
Well,
know?
plus
Yeah.
another thing that's not being said is everybody that lives anywhere near the Appalachian Mountains or in that area knows to just shut up. Just
Yes.
just
Yeah,
shut
well,
up.
and
Just
you don't tell outsiders. You don't tell
yeah.
people who aren't from there, people you don't know. Like, people you don't
Mhm,
know are dangerous. That's
mhm.
that's the
Just put your
Appalachian
head
mindset.
down. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
It's like,
lot of
"Did you
that, I
see that?"
feel.
It's like, "We don't talk about that." It's like, "Why?" It's like, "I don't
Mhm.
know you well enough."
Yep.
Like, "I don't know you well enough."
Yep.
Um, yeah, there's a ton of that. It's just and it's the oldest mountain chain in the world. Did you know that?
Yeah, I actually did. Which is
Yeah.
really amazing to think about, like, just how long they've been there and how they were created. I mean, they used to be formed, they used to be part of the, what fucking up north of the other countries there.
Yeah.
Wasn't all connected,
Allegedly. Allegedly.
allegedly.
Did I tell you how proud I was of my daughter? So my middle daughter no, I'm sorry, my oldest daughter, excuse me. I have 3, so they get jumbled around. My oldest daughter, my wife was they're watching, like, a little documentary about how the Earth is made and, like, what the magma core, mantle, how all that, and my oldest daughter looks to the other 2 girls and said, "But nobody can actually prove that." She's like, "We don't actually know that." It's like, "Nobody knows that." Like, they want you to take this on their word, so understand
Yeah.
it.
This is a guesstimate. This is a
Yes.
guess, yeah.
Yeah. It's an educated wish.
Mhm. It's crazy to me to be this age now and look back at all the shit in school that we were told and as fact that we grow up and it's like, it's not really fact. We just wanted you to know it. We just wanted
Yeah.
you to think it's a fact. That's why we put it in a test and graded you on that. And it's like, but it's not even yeah.
There's there's things that if you can pull yourself out of social media, which is weird because 'cause we're doing this for social media, I understand that. Um,
It's where the world has turned. It's how people communicate now.
I ingest less of it and less of it as time goes on. It makes me feel yucky on the inside. I don't
Mhm.
like it. That's why I'm hoping people will like our stuff because this is really just kinda who we are, you know? Uh,
Yeah.
I can take a break from the craziness because everything you see on TV is a lie.
Yeah.
Everything's
No,
a lie.
we're
The
not
news is
selling
a lie.
anything.
No. Hell
We're not
no.
selling anything. We're
We're
just here to be us.
yeah, we're doing this for our own mental health, which
Mhm.
doesn't really bode well for us. But
It's completely normal to rent out a hospital, an old abandoned hospital, and go tour it in the middle of the night for a ghost hunt.
are we
It's
going in are
completely
we going in
normal.
November to go find vampires?
Completely normal to hunt vampires as a grown adult.
Uh, exactly,
Oh
exactly.
gosh.
Yeah, no, it's whatever. It's fun. It's things I'm interested in. It's some things that have a real background to it. Um, I think it's gonna be fun. I think the vampire expedition is gonna bring forth more than we anticipate.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be stuff from way off the wall that was never part of the calculations.
I mean, it's part of New Orleans, though. You have
That's
to
part of New
that's
Orleans.
how it goes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
No, I'm
yeah.
excited about it. I think it's gonna be fun.
No,
I'm
I think
excited
it's
to
gonna be
talk to all the
awesome.
people, do all the interviews. I can't wait. I think that's gonna be great.
Yeah, it's gonna be something
And
striking
then
up
get
both
back on here and talk
politicians.
about it and tell people what we heard and what
Hell
we
yeah.
saw. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah. No, I like this. This is fun. This is fun. I'm proud of my daughter for chipping that in. I've heard my son say other things that are along that. Like he's like, "What do you think?" I was like, "Well,
Yeah.
here's the facts." Like that's not.
You know, to be fair, what's really cool is because you're homeschooling, she can say that. She can
Of
respond
course
that
you
way.
can.
She can learn this and then she can respond with her own. If she were in a classroom, then the teacher's going to shut her down and be like, "That's not what we're teaching you."
Mhm.
I think that's
Yeah. No, we do that. You know, the financial literacy of the banking institutions. That's something we have a system that we're going to start weaving in now that they're getting a little older. They can start handling those kinds of concepts,
mhm.
which adults should too.
Yeah.
Adults should too.
Yeah.
You know, like every country America's gone to war with in the past, 80 years didn't have a central banking system. That and by that, all central banking systems that are allied nations in this world are owned by the same family because they're not owned by the government. There's no central banking system in any country in the world anywhere that's owned privately by the
Yeah.
governments.
Yeah. They're just
That's
privately
like
owned.
why is Russia our greatest enemy? They don't have a centralized banking system. They won't allow it. Government controls it.
Hmm.
It makes no sense. China's in that same weird bracket. Although China genuinely is an enemy. They're an enemy to everyone in the world, not just a cultural thing. That's communism. Communism is at odds with life. I've kind of come to the conclusion in life there's two cults. You got to figure one of them to join. There's a life cult and a death cult.
Oh, that's grim.
Yeah. Well, it's fertility or death. It's which cult are you a member of? Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, I have 5 kids. I pick my side. You know?
I hear you.
But yeah, I think a lot of things. I mean, that's obviously other shows, but it can be really broken down into that. At least my, half-ass philosophy, whatever that's worth, which isn't a lot.
Hey, I know what I wanted to ask you about. What do you know about that
42.
that explosives?
I knew it blew up.
Yeah, yeah, the warehouse, the explosive warehouse or the lab or whatever it was in Humphreys County in Tennessee that blew up. Do you know anything about that?
Mm-mm.
Other than, I mean, how sad it is, all the people, I mean, they're just gone. Like, they're just completely
Honestly, they
gone.
didn't suffer.
That is
They didn't
that
even
is,
know.
I mean,
They
it's
they they went into the next world not knowing what happened to the last one, and there's something.
it was that
You
fast,
know?
that
Yeah.
instant.
Yeah. I mean, before Peter died and he was crucified upside down, he watched his wife get crucified. Like there's horrible ways in this world to go, and
Yeah,
going in a flash is,
yeah.
you know, I think it's a tragedy. I'm praying for their families. Loss is always hard, especially like that. On the second note, you're working at an explosives factory.
There's a risk always, yeah. You know what you signed up for.
You know
Yeah.
what you signed up for.
Mhm,
If you're on an oil rig out in the ocean, you might die. It's not zero.
mhm.
You might burn to death out here. Like you're gonna
Yeah,
have to choose. Like, do I dive in with the sharks or do I burn on the oil rig? Like
yeah.
those are the choices, and it may come to that. Yeah, I mean, I hate it. I don't know anything about it, and because it's explosives like that. They're not going to tell anyone anything.
I'm
They're
curious how
just
they'll
not.
even know. How will they even know what happened if everything is gone? If everything is destroyed, everything is just
Well,
wiped
I mean,
out.
I doubt everything is. It's not vaporized. It's rubble. They'll search through the rubble.
There's not
You know.
much rubble left. Have you seen? Oh
Well,
my
I've
goodness
seen what they've
gracious.
shown.
That's a good point.
I've
That's a
seen
good
what they've
point.
shown. Yeah, I don't. I don't know. I don't know what they were making out there. I don't know what they were doing. I don't know how far it would go. They can find the origin point. They can look on the maps to figure out which building that was in. They can find out who was working there that day. Depending on, they shouldn't have kept the security cameras and whatnot there. It should be in another building. So they'll probably have some of the last security footage available somewhere. Those places like that are very surveilled. Like
I
everyone
guess
knows who
they need
goes
to
in and
be.
out. You're
Yeah.
clocking in and out, like going through doors. That's electronic keycard that's going somewhere. It's not going to be stored on site at this building, right? It's going to be elsewhere. Um,
Mhm.
so they'll know that kind of stuff. And I mean, it just depends on how smart the people are working. It's kind of amazing how you can, if you know a thing about stuff about. I don't know anything about explosives. You hear that ATF? I don't know shit about explosives.
Not Bubba. He don't know nothing.
No. Um, they'll be able to, go through that and see what happens. Even,
Just
depending on which building and things like that and the chain reaction that happened, it leaves chemical signatures, what mixed together and how, or,
yeah, that's crazy.
but
I
a
don't know
lot of
anything
things
about
like
that.
that comes down to human error,
Mhm.
just operator error,
Yeah.
improper storage, or, static buildup. It's
You think
crazy.
they would have precautions for things like that, though? Like, if that's what they do and that's what they handle, it seems like they would have
You
lots
would
of
you
systems
would
in
think,
place,
but then
you know?
I've done it 1,000 times and it's always been fine, comes into
There's
play.
always human error too. I mean,
Yeah.
what if it's a new guy, you know? What if
What
it's
if
a
it's a
new
new
guy that
guy?
just started? I mean, it could be the
Yeah,
simplest of things that
exactly. New guy who didn't know to ground out the tow motor or whatever, or their little cherry picker, and it just built up a static shock. Something everybody knows to do. Maybe they know to do it so much they didn't even bother to tell them because everybody knows to do that. It's that's just one of those things. But also, like, hubris is also a factor, and whatever it is, it's a tragedy. Um, so I think the bigger thing is that I hope all those families are financially taken care of because whoever was there was probably the breadwinner of them.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know,
Gosh, absolutely. I sure hope
yeah.
so.
And so now all these people, I hope you had life insurance policies. I hope everything is paid swiftly. I hope that's no one's giving you shit, as
Yeah.
insurance loves to give everybody shit right now.
Yeah. That's the
Like, well,
last
if
thing
you,
these
yeah, last
they don't
thing
need
you
to
want to
worry.
hear is you don't have a body, so
Mhm.
we don't have to pay out because they might not be like, fuck off. He was in the building. You know what I
No.
mean? Like,
I mean,
clock
they
in.
did, I think, already determine they have a list of, I think it's at least 16 that they've already said have
Yes, they're
yeah,
they're
they're
getting
labeling
death
them as
certificates.
deceased, yeah,
Good, and that's probably why, because
to
insurance would
move it forward,
definitely,
yeah.
yeah, insurance would
Mhm.
definitely do that.
Yeah.
Um, because they're bastards like that. Something needs to be done about that. But yeah, man, it's
That's a
horrible.
tragedy. That's sad.
Yeah, well, I don't want to end on a sad note. On a happy note, I think Candace Owens is going to bring down the fucking world. I love it.
Yeah, I was actually just thinking about her too.
I'm happy for it, man. She's out there. And not only that, she gave this big thing. She's like, "Where's all Charlie Kirk's friends? If you love them so much, how come you're not asking questions?" What Tucker and Megyn Kelly do? Come out
Yeah,
publicly. We are asking questions. She's right. We should be all vocalizing.
yeah. Yeah, she's been very
So that's
interesting to watch. Yeah, I'm all about
three
it.
three people that aren't bought so far, and she might bring down a country. You know what I mean? Not only that, the U.S. has signed a peace deal with Israel, or
Okay.
signed a peace deal on behalf for Israel and Palestine. There's now peace in the Middle East, which I don't know how I feel about that. No,
Hmm.
it be what it be.
Yeah.
If you're a biblical scholar, you're like, this heralds the end times. Okay, if that's what you believe, then you're closer to being with Christ. But if you've actually read Revelations, yes, you're closer to being with Christ. But man, it's gonna get dark.
Mm.
Like that is not the ticket for the ride I wanted to buy. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a pussy. I don't want to endure. Christ, my church in the last days will endure all of this. Is there a bypass route? you know, I, I, can I play from the kids' tees?
You're a dork.
This isn't the shit I wanted, man. Listen, I know I'm a big burly man, but I am sensitive. I am soft. I'm emotional.
Yeah, you're a little bitch.
Absolutely. I'm a large one.
Yeah.
I am a supersized bitch. I don't want any of that smoke. I don't want any of that smoke. And some of my friends I've told that to laugh about it. They're like, in those last days, those are the martyrs. I don't fucking want to be. I didn't sign up for that, bro. Yeah, I just, personally, I think it will be violated very swiftly, like 6 months. In fact, because it was signed, I'm genuinely worried that there will be a terrorist attack on soil, potentially on a nuclear scale, in a major
Horrible.
U.S. city. Yeah, I would think probably New York, or I'm sorry, not New York, L.A. L.A. would be a good target for that.
It's already halfway burned down, isn't it?
That's the point.
They just cleared out half the people. ICE just took half the fricking population out.
Yeah, I mean, when you start doing the numbers, though, something has to happen. Like, I wish this is the thing. It's complicated, right? Like, I worked construction at a time when I was very poor and I had nothing, and the Mexicans I worked with made sure I ate lunch every day. You know what I mean? Like they had my
Oh,
back
yeah, when I say
with
it, I'm
hard.
not happy
Yeah,
about
no,
it,
no,
like,
I'm
it's
I'm
not
not.
a no,
Like,
I'm
I'm
not
and this is where it's complicated, because to be a sovereign nation, you have to secure your border. And honestly, we're as a Christian myself, we're bringing in these people to work at subpar wages just so we can make everything cheaper and more profitable for ourselves. We're not treating them as equals. They're a slave race, and they're treated as such, and that bugs me. It doesn't, but it breaks my fucking heart, to be honest. There's a bunch of people I worked with that all they want to do is be here in America.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's a couple of dudes I worked with, which would say 30%, who wanted to buy underage prostitutes, drink unbelievable amounts of beers, get in fucking car wrecks and fights, and duck out on everything. Like, they're a fucking problem. They were a problem in their country. They're a problem in this country. They'll be a problem in any country they go to. But for the ones that are hardworking, that are fucking trying to have a house and a life, we need a path. We need a path to U.S. citizenship for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's
Yeah.
not anything anyone's offering. I also think
Mhm.
dual citizenship shouldn't exist. I don't think you should have a fucking passport to another country. It's bullshit. You're just a fucking rat waiting for a chance to swim away.
Yeah.
But it's a complicated issue. I get what they're doing, but it's got to do it. Otherwise, we don't have a country. Well, largest voting bloc will be Mexican nationals in U.S. elections. Can't have that,
No.
because then we're going to end up like them, and they're fucked. Their presidential candidate. Do you know how many people were murdered for her to win? 27 opponents. 27 people who said, I will challenge her to be president, were fucking shot in the head. Their families were burned alive. Their heads were found in their front yards.
Good God.
Yeah. Yeah. Because Mexico's out of fucking control. The cartels run it.
Good God.
And not only that, if you really look into the Mexican president, which we cannot say here because we will lose the podcast, it makes zero sense that she's there unless you know who's training and funding and working with the cartels. Then it makes sense.
I don't know any of that. I don't know any of this stuff.
Well, we need a happy thing to end on. A happy thing, I think my youngest son may be a genius.
There's a good chance.
No, it's not hyperbole. I don't mean that. And I've been telling my wife that for a while. And Bubba. He's
Yeah.
nuts.
He's a goofy little thing.
He's out of his mind. I think he might be able to read.
Really?
Yeah.
Why you say?
Because we got a new kind of maple syrup, and it looked like a whiskey bottle. And
Mhm.
it just says maple syrup, Canadian maple syrup. It's from Kirkland's, right? Like the fancy maple syrup. My wife likes fancy maple syrup. So I got it for her. And he comes in and he goes, ooh, maple syrup. And I'm like, and we both looked at him and she's like, how do you know it's maple syrup? He says, because it says maple syrup. And then he walked out and you're like, what the fuck?
Wow.
And the other night she took him to a 4-H thing, and they had like what is it, like the memory card thing where you got to remember where stuff is,
Mhm. Yeah, memory game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently he's perfect. He smoked everybody. And then they were like doing some kind of drawing, like, guess what I'm drawing, like picture guessing. And
Mhm.
apparently he's fucking throwing out the right guesses. She's like, there's no way he got it was a pumpkin. It looked like a caterpillar. And I was like, that's because he doesn't see it like you see it. I was like,
That's
he ain't
so
running
crazy.
things like you're running things. I was like, I'm telling you, he's a fucking genius. Like, and then my other idiots aren't really idiots, but of all of them, if you like, having known all of them small, he is the only one I've seen solve problems the way he solves problems.
Mhm.
It comes at it from such an outside angle, and it's such a good solution. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's there, this is here. How do I achieve that? How do I do this? How do I figure this out? How do I play? Like, he's just running in his own little world. His biggest problem is his mouth and his communication skills can't keep up with his brain yet. You got to constantly tell him you have to slow down.
Yeah.
You have to slow down because no one's understanding what you're saying right now. And you just see the frustration build on him. He's like, why am I dealing with such stupid people?
I know. He's like,
You
keep up.
know? He's like, oh, you're so
Just
below me.
read my mind.
Yeah, come on. We got to go faster. But yeah, I think he might be a genius. I've
That's
thought it
great.
for a while. And I just
That's
think it's funny.
great.
My wife the other night, she's like, I think you might be right. And I was like, I believe I'm right. It's like,
That's going to be exciting to watch.
this is some different kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah. He's in a good house for it.
My oldest, because of the homeschooling, because we let them kind of view whatever they want, he went through this thing where he was thinking that he is less than. He's like, I'm just not smart. I wish you guys wouldn't say I'm smart. And I'm like, what do you mean you're not smart? I was like, you're beautiful and brilliant. And like, what do you mean, man? You are one of the few people in this world who could truly do anything you want to do, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's some videos he was watching of like college age math being explained that he just couldn't keep up with.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like college students doing it for high school students. And it's like, you're in 6th grade.
Yeah.
I think you're doing pretty fucking good, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, buddy.
You're fine. I think you're fine.
Overachievers here.
Yeah. Yeah. And his other thing is he's like, I can't spell. And I was like, I can't spell either. And I wrote 2 books. Fuck it. It doesn't matter.
That's a struggle with the youngest in my house. He's almost 11, and because of dyslexia, I mean, we're still struggling with sight words.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
it's a real struggle.
And it's different parts of the brain. Like I still have not trouble reading, but trouble spelling. Because somehow something in my brain is wired in a way it doesn't put it together that way.
Mm-hmm.
It just
to be honest, the English language doesn't make any fucking sense anyway.
Oh no!
Like I'm trying to help him learn words, and when I'm literally saying, "Well, if you have these 2 letters, this is the sound," and then the next word it doesn't do that, and I'm like, "How can I help him? How can I help teach him the rules of the English language when they don't fucking make any sense?
They make no sense.
There are no rules. They're just it's chaos."
It really is.
I mean, for a kid who's dyslexic, it's hell. Like, I feel so bad for him. I mean, it's a struggle. He has to read 15 minutes a night, and it's the hardest 15 minutes we go through every night.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't do it every night, if I'm honest with you. Some nights we're like, fuck it, we're having a great day. Let's just skip that shit.
Let's have a good day.
Yeah, let's keep the day going. We're not going to ruin it by sitting down to read today. Like
the only benefit is technology is advancing in such a rate that a lot of things will be read to you. You know,
that's one thing that we are aware of, because honestly, he's been able to figure out he has a phone and he can communicate with his friends texting, because he knows how to hit that button and speech to text. Mm-hmm. He's able to read enough to figure out what they're saying back to him, because it's slow and there's no pressure and no teacher is standing over him, making him do it in front of the class, you know, that kind of a thing. It's honestly, getting him a phone and letting him text with his friends has been a really great way to help him along.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
Which is crazy.
It is crazy to think it's
technology.
Right? No, it is
crazy.
I forget which other thing there was. I need to do research on it, but they were using VR to treat a learning disability that people were having. I'll have to do some research to pull it up. But whatever, like my son's going through anyway with his spelling, I went through too, all through school. Like I wouldn't want to write because I didn't feel confident in my ability to write. Even simple words, like spelling words didn't make sense. I had no problem reading.
You still spell like shit. I know.
I still spell like shit. Yeah. I still spell like shit.
Yeah.
And I've still wrote books.
You're still written 2 books, and you're still one of the smartest people I've ever met in my life. Like,
well, and millions of pages read, right? Mm-hmm. Millions of pages read. So it's not that big a fucking deal. Mm-hmm. You know, like there are people that are super hardcore grammar Nazis that I could never get down with. You know what I mean? But I get it. You know, people are good at something and they pursue their passion.
To be fair, I'm kind of one of those assholes with grammar. Like I used to be.
Grammar rules that don't make any sense.
Right. And that's what's so hard for me, to have 2 boys who are dyslexic, and here I am, and I'm like, why don't you get it? You know, like it, because to me it all made sense, but I'm aware of what they're dealing with, and I used to piss mom off. I corrected mom. Oh my gosh. I finally stopped. I don't correct her anymore. I'm too old. I'm not a dick anymore. But
point? Yeah. Let's let her be. Let her be happy. Try to let her be happy. As happy as she allows herself to be.
There you go.
Yeah. And with that, homie, I love you.
Yep. I love you too, man. Until next time.
Yeah. Hopefully someone's listening to these sooner or later.
Eventually.
Eventually.
All right, peace.
Peace.